What is up, my intergalactic friends? Today we're going to talk about a flagship that is going to be a game changer. A game changer for majority of the players who are going to be investing into this flagship. For me, it is definitely going to be a game changer and I'm very excited for this. I'm going to be talking about the flagship Poseidon. My name is Shinchi42. If you like Infinite Galaxy content, consider subscribing and turn your notification on. And of course, if you find this video to be very helpful, smash that like. So Poseidon is a flagship that I am building up, working, and I'm very excited in how this thing is going to be playing its role as I rank this ship up. As you guys currently see, my weapons for the flagships are currently laser. That's because this is my secondary fleet at the very moment, and I am not really using this as a main battleship yet. So I haven't fully fixed what I really want on my second fleet. But once I maxed out Poseidon, or at least rank it up much higher than Odysseus, and unlock the last equipment slots here, and then I'm going to be bringing up Poseidon into my main fleet. My main fleet is currently a Hades and Odysseus. As you can see, I have now officially switched into missile weapon type onto the equipment. Now, key thing to understand in here, you might be still in the old system. In the old system, the first skill of the flagship has a specific buff to the warship. So they've changed it up now. It's not relevant now, whatever weapon it is. So as you can see, total warship attack 40%. Back then, it's specified as it has to be laser buff. So you kind of adjust it to whatever type, whatever tiers of warship that you're going to be using. So now it's pretty much relevant. Hopefully I didn't make that as confusing as it is. But just think about this as that this is irrelevant to whatever equipment that you're going to be doing. Your equipment has to match up with the type of ships or warship that you are building. So as you can see, I am now building into the T10 destroyers that are specifically missile weapon type. So when I set up my fleet in here, you can see that this is going to be all T10 destroyer that are missile type. And this is why I have missile type equipments equipped to the two flagship in my fleet number 1. With that being said, Poseidon is a flagship that you can either obtain here through the Syracuse Lucky Wheel, or you can actually obtain Poseidon through or you can also obtain Poseidon through the event called Treasure Hunt. The National Treasure Hunt is where you spend to get Corium, and as you add Corium, you unlock certain tiers, and then you'll be able to get some Poseidon flagship. Now, with the Syracuse Lucky Wheel, this is a great one to do because you will get some Poseidon by doing spins onto this special wheel. And at like 160, you will get a 55 bonus. So each tier that you reach, you're going to get each bonus. So if you spin 10 times, you get 25. Spin 25 times, you get 30. 45 times, you get 40. Now, you also get some really nice rewards from here. You can have a chance to also get a Poseidon ship. So if we do spin 5 times in here, let's see what we're going to be getting. I did not get any Poseidon flagship at all. But hey, there's another chance. Let's see. So I got 10 Poseidon flagship blueprint. Now, we can open this up. And as you can see, now we've obtained 25 Poseidon flagship blueprint. Another way for you to obtain your Poseidon is going through the blueprint shop. You can actually purchase Poseidon here by using your Advanced Federation credit. Now, I highly advise that if you are going to be ranking up your flagship, is that do it on an event, either if it's some power-up event or a Galaxy Star event. Now, Poseidon, like I said, is going to be a meta changer for me, and it could be a meta changer for you as well. Poseidon is a very tanky setup. For the most players that are investing into the Artemis, I think this is going to be a relatively amazing setup, making your frigates even tankier. And your Artemis, right? The Artemis is a very tanky flagship. This is a very good complement to the Artemis. Now, since I am a destroyer setup, Poseidon is still going to be very interesting to be pairing up with my Hades, because Poseidon is not a specific warship type like a Hades. As we know, Hades is a flagship that is mainly dedicated to destroyer. With Poseidon, this is a flagship that can work with any type of flagship. So what is my general idea and why am I doing this? Why I'm doing this is because I want to build a very tanky destroyers. Now, there are players that are actually doing the Hades and then the Titan. Definitely. I think the Titan is definitely very deadly. It's going to be very nice, increasing warship range, and then you can be much further from other destroyers if they did not invest into a Titan, right? Or maybe there is a Hades and Athena. That's also a range increasing build. But I've decided that I want to be one of those tanky destroyers. So if I go 1-on-1, because when you go 1-on-1 and you catch somebody's fleet, right, your range doesn't really affect you, right? The range doesn't matter when there's a 1-on-1 situation. When, you know what, we can say that you're not going to be doing 1-on-1 most of the time, but yes, but when I was playing Galaxy Summit, there are situations where I would hit first, since I would, you know, with being Hades, you fly a little bit faster. With that initial hit, if I'm tanky, I can survive a lot longer. So that's what I'm thinking. That's one of my concepts right here, right? So if you guys have any ideas or any suggestions or any concept that you want to pitch in, please do leave it down in the comment section below. Now, this Poseidon will give my warships 75.6% at the max level of HP. And it's going to give my defense as well 75.6% armor, 75.6% shield. And it's also going to give me a attack boost. This is what I like. Now, the difference between this and the Odysseus. Here's a big thing. The difference between this and Odysseus, I am going to be getting 88.2%, which is going to be dealing to destroyers, dealing to frigates, and dealing to cruisers. With the Odysseus setup that I currently have, I only really get the main benefit because I am running with destroyers. So I am really getting the benefit of destroyer attack frigate bonus. So with this, it allows me to diversify my targets. So when I am in a stack, we're going to defeat the destroyers first. When I'm using Odysseus, I am not getting any benefit on attack by hitting the destroyers. By using a Poseidon, it's going to be a very big game changer, because then I will be able to hit those destroyers much harder. And then we're going to hit those frigates as we eat up all those destroyers. And as we help and clean up the fleets of the frigates, and then we can hit the cruisers who are mean against destroyers. And then we also get this armor when total HP of the deployed fleet is higher than 70%. So 302.4%, which is actually a huge number, especially in the beginning of the, the battle, because you'll have higher than 70% HP at that time. So it makes it a lot tankier, make it a lot harder to go down to less than 70%. We also have the awakening skill of the Poseidon. Hits increase your fleet's armor for 6 seconds. So what this does is that every 14 seconds of cooldown, there is a skill that is being cast that is going to give your warships 116% warship armor every 14 seconds. And also, of course, so one thing that I want to mention as well is that this also has an attack damage, but every 14 seconds of cooldown, you get 116% total warship armor that will last you for 6 seconds, all right? 6 turns, basically. So what is this going to really do with my setup? I believe that my setup, once I finish this, is going to make my destroyers super heavy tank. So it's going to be really good. Okay, so the cruisers, you're going to love this, because when we're playing into an event, right, I'm typically the meat shield because that's how it is. But it's going to make me very tanky to where you're going to succeed. But when it comes to PvP, since actually a lot of players do not invest in destroyers, which is really good, that means we can eat up the destroyer barricade or destroyer meat shield that most servers have, And then once we eat up under those destroyers, then we can eat up the frigates. A lot of players actually have cruisers. So by eating up all the destroyers quickly, getting into the frigates quickly, the frigates, by saving these frigates, they will eat up the cruisers, and that will allow our stack to win. And you know what? Thanks to who? Thanks to the destroyers. So that's pretty much my kind of concept here today. Let me show you my setup right now, my crew. Oh, by the way, since I am T10 destroyers now, I am heavily trying to build this living metal. This is one of the things that I am struggling right now. So you might want to start building more living metal material because it is going to be a struggle on that one. So let's take a look into my crew. Now, you guys know before I had my Molly Mayer because this is a laser weapon type buff when it is a captain. So now I've brought down Molly Mayer since I am going to be not really using her as much right now, but I might bring her up once I finish my my cruiser setup because the cruiser end game will be a laser weapon type. So right now, this is my current setup. I want you guys to rate my current setup. What do you guys actually think? I did bring up Justin in here because this is a missile weapon type. As you can see, it's a little bit low since I didn't think about this in the very beginning that I need to work onto my missile. I was only thinking about the laser because in the previous updates, it was very different, mechanics. We also have, I think I have Aldridge right now, but I'm thinking about replacing this because I'm not really getting the benefit. But the only reason why I have this is to increase my tech. It gives us 67 tech. So here is my current setup. So really full into the destroyers and into the tech wise, warship buffs. All right. So giving us until the end, getting total warship HP 15%. So it's very specific into missile weapon type. Now, I do have extra into the lasers since the next thing that we're going to be building is cruisers that are lasers. Since I am now into researching my T10 cruisers. Oh, actually, I have just finished my T10 cruisers. Wow. So now I can also build T10 cruisers, which is going to be really, really nice into my next fleet. Now I can join in with the cruiser gang and get more points on the event. So in the event, if I'm going to be changing things up, I'm going to be using my, Cyclops and then Poseidon. Then I'm not going to be using my Hades and Poseidon in event. So I can always mix match, change things up, and then succeed into that one. So let me know what you guys actually think about Poseidon. My current Poseidon rank is rank 10. And if you want to look at the buff of Poseidon rank 10, here it is. So the next thing what we're going to be getting into is another 250. Actually, we're only like about 50 left in here, or 43 left to rank up Poseidon next. Besides that, my intergalactic friends, I'm very excited to max out Poseidon. We've maxed out Hades. So the next thing that we're going to do, max this out and show you how amazing this flagship is. I'll see you guys again next time. Thank you for watching.